Welcome back to another Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake of the Ancient Illumination series, as well as Young Bonnie Chronicles. And I am joined once again by Jocelyn Short.
Hey.
She's a concept artist and an illustrator, creator of a comic soon to come out, Bearers. And we are also joined by Andrea Rose Washington.
Hello.
She is a fellow author, creator of Elendil, Almond Tree's Magic, and Adalithia. And you're working on something else now, aren't you? It's about to be released?
A short story collection.
Okay. We're waiting for those things to release. There will be links to everybody's website in the description once we upload this audio to Spotify. Today we are back talking some more Acolyte, and we're all just coming from BlurredCon. That was this past weekend, but I wanted to get this episode off because tomorrow we get the finale. So I want everybody to get their predictions in today so that when we come talk about it next week, it's not after the finale has released.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched Beyond up to episode 7, in Acolyte, titled Choice. We'll go through my little run through and we'll discuss that certain parts. So we're back on Brendok, 16 years in the past again. So we got another perspective from this event that we've already seen previously, but we get a few more answers this time. So we got the Jedi basically searching and studying with metal detectors. Why they got my boy Kelnock out there with like a metal detector, like he's looking for loose change on the beach out there? Torben is just over it. He
Who
wants to
knows
go
what
home.
they were doing, man? I guess field work, but I'm just like, y'all just got him out there doing anything.
Yeah, that's why Torben didn't want to be there. And then finally, Soul and Indara tell him that they're studying a vergence, which apparently is a concentration of the Force, and it's an energy that can create life. And we learn that Soul very much wants a Padawan. Soul creeps up on the girls and finds the coven. Mother Coral admonishes the twins. And I'm like, can we get some consistency on when Force sensitives can detect the presence of others? Because it's kind of spotty. Mother Coral doesn't feel Soul creeping up on them, but later on when he's creeping up in the whatever that mining facility they were at, she feels his presence up in like the rafters, and when the girls are kind of arguing with each other, she gets up and walks momentarily, looking out like she sensed something. Like, but she didn't sense them when they were much closer down the forest floor. Soul then reports to Indara that there's a Force cult there. Torben name drops the Night Sisters, and I don't know if that was a faux pas or not because the timeline is kind of shaky and they're kind of changing stuff around anyway. But we've seen Ahsoka, and the Night Sisters come later from another galaxy. So I'm like, why is Torben knowing about the Night Sisters on Dathomir? Because they're specific to one planet in the lore. I'm like, how does he even know about the Night Sisters yet? Because from what I've seen, they weren't like a thing yet.
I wonder if of course I don't know, right? But I wonder if it's a thing where maybe in that universe, like maybe there was just talk of the Night Sisters, like maybe it was like lore or legend, they were only heard of in.
Yeah, it's just he specifically name drops the Night Sisters, and they were in a specific place and time. And I'm wondering if that's because fans are going to nitpick if they find, just like they did with Kitty Amundi's birthday being changed because he shouldn't be alive yet in this series, but he's clearly there.
So going off of what Jocelyn just said, I also don't know because I don't know anything outside of Star Wars really. But it could be like the boogeyman. Like, kids, stories, but like no one believes it. It's just the thing everyone says. It's like, oh, don't be, these groups could come and get you.
Yeah.
And like it could just be like the boogeyman type thing. But
could be.
I do not
like the
know.
beginning, maybe there's the beginnings of their story has been told, but it's not really like a widely known thing.
Yeah.
Soul feels for the girl's safety, and they just.
I just have to say one thing. I'm so sorry. At that exact line.
Yeah.
You colonizer.
Right.
You're coming into
Right.
other people's business, into a situation you do not understand, and it's
Yeah.
like, I fear for their safety.
I'm like,
Yeah.
You
yo,
know nothing.
you could
This
have
is
left them. You could have left them folk alone.
yeah.
Like,
This is tantamount to South Park when they. I don't know if y'all remember South Park when they go hunting when it's not hunting season, and the dude Stan with the neck thing is like, they're coming right for us, and like all you're
Yeah.
gonna do is say they're coming right for us before you shoot, and it's legal. Like they have no jurisdiction here on this planet to do what they're doing. Um, they just roll up and break in, and
so crazy.
And also
They're in danger. We have to help them.
yeah,
because it's different than what you're used to. Different does not mean bad, soul. And I just have to say, listen to the people in charge. There's a reason they're in charge, not you. I
yeah,
don't always mean that because it definitely varies case by case. But in this case, Soul, listen to the person in charge. She
yeah.
was the only person spitting facts this entire episode.
Yeah, and I know you're about to probably mention it, Rob, but I have to say I'm really grateful, even though it didn't really help. But I'm grateful that I forget the woman's name now, but uh
The master.
yes, I'm glad that she kept questioning his motives. Like,
Windara,
yeah,
yeah,
that she continued to be like, who is this really for? Like, what what do you like? Whose thoughts are you imposing right now? Like, are you
yeah.
imposing your will on something else, or are
She
you?
told him twice. She told him twice. She told him with Torben when they were discussing his apprehensions about being there. Like, don't confuse your misgivings with his misgivings and feelings. And the same thing when discussing OSHA. She's like, don't confuse your desires with her. Just because you want something, don't mean she wants the same thing.
Mhm.
Oh my
Um,
God, a child is throwing a tantrum.
and
She's
they just roll up and break in like it's nothing. We see Mother Anastaea's possession of Torben from inside of his head, which was cool. I felt like this kind of an expansion on the Jedi mind or witch mind trick in this case. Um, and Osha comes right out. We already knew this because we've seen this scene before. Right away, Torben gets mentally played like a fiddle. Is one of my notes say. And all of a sudden now Osha wants to show what she was taught to do. Before she wasn't about, training with the force, nothing, but now she wants to show everybody, Mother, I'd like to show them what you taught me. Um, and it's curious, we've talked about this before, but that line it comes up again. Basically, Endara is saying you cannot deny the Jedi right to test. With permission, of course. And I think that's an oxymoronic statement. Like
very
those two things don't
disingenuous.
go together. Either you have a right to do something and can't nobody say nothing, or you don't need permission, but you can't have both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make like sense to test them if they can't go.
Yeah.
So like that whole scene, like you're just lying to indigenous people to get your way.
Yep.
Yeah. And reluctantly, NSA agrees to let them get tested. My boy Torben seems tight-lipped when they get back on the ship. I don't know, because they didn't really show us them discussing it, but he looked like he didn't want to say nothing.
I'm glad he's dead. He deserved it. That boy was nothing all episode.
Yeah. And First Soul was worried about their safety. Now all of a sudden he feels a connection to a specific twin. It's really obvious his judgment is super clouded during this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Bad decision.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Soul. Welcome, Bad Decision. I'm going to follow you to the ends of the earth.
So I was right. He's bad at everything.
I was discussing with someone. This seems like the bad news bears of the Jedi. Like they sent the exact worst crew possible. Everybody's messing up. Indara calls the coven so strange, and Soul calls what they do dark magic, despite the fact that we know that even if it's a different practice, they're using the exact same energy force that you're using. It's just not the way you use it or you think of it. I like how Torben says, "I won't hurt you," proceeds to jab May in the arm to test her midichlorian count to get some blood work. And it's obvious that she's not down at all. Go ahead, Andrea.
Torben, I'm glad you get what I'm a little seeing him in this episode has made me wish he had a different death.
Oh, he got off too easy, you think?
Like the the poison was too kind.
Okay.
This is I know you're gonna get like, but so far this boy has been an antagonist on everything, and
He
he's
is,
being a
yeah.
little spoiled brat who is being more spoiled to another little spoiled brat. I just need him to go, and
This
I
was
know he
interesting
does.
to
And
me, yeah,
yeah.
because both sides have underlings that are going rogue. Like,
Yes.
so Soul is actively recruiting now. He starts coaching OSHA, and Torben looks up the girls' blood samples. The council comes back and tells them like outright, no. The council said no. That should be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Torben's like, there's something dangerous about them women. Like, bro, you sound really crazy right now. And then the council says also, you've already interfered too much. And my boy
Leave
is ready
it
to crash out. And it was like, this was a
alone.
turning point when Torben's like, so now we get to go home? She's like, no. He rolls his eyes and like, oh, he's about to crash out just because she said that they have to stay. And what was Saul going to say to the council? Because he's like, well, let me talk to him. Like, fool.
He was gonna ruin everything. Honestly, Soul, he's got a curb stomp in 4K coming his way. Okay,
Yes, he does.
he's got a curb stomp to the head in 4K coming his way. All right, this man does not deserve no more screen time unless it's a beatdown. Like, just
This
look at him.
like to go from him like being like fighting like 2 episodes ago and all that stuff to him being in this episode, it was like, so I don't know if you deserve the glow up we were giving you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you deserve any of the respect we were giving you, because like the desperation for you to want a Padawan, the desperation to steal these two children from their home, from their family, because you think something is wrong.
Yeah.
Not because there actually is. You have no facts. You saw those girls for 30 seconds and was
Also,
like, I have to save them. No,
and
you don't.
yeah, and I know we'll get to all this, and I'll probably say it again, but I'm gonna say it now. And Dara deserved to die. She did deserve to die, and she also deserved to die first.
Yeah, she
What?
she she jammed up. So it's funny this next part where Soul gets emotional while denying that he's being emotional. That is not what
It's
happened.
not what this is about.
Yeah, his voice is cracking. I'm like, bro, you sound emotional right now. What are you talking about? I want to do
Stop
what's
calling
best.
me out. I don't like it. It's hurting my feelings.
Stop saying the truth.
Yeah.
He's coming off as a straight weirdo. Apparently, the girl's midichlorian count is extremely high, and symbiotes shouldn't be identical even in twins. And because the twins could be a result of using the Virgin, Torben just flies off the handle, hops on his speeder, and I'm like, they couldn't stop him. Like they just watched him do what he's walking off to hop on the
I
speeder.
was like,
Nobody can
nobody
stop him.
don't use the force that y'all know how to wield and stop that boy in his tracks. Like, what do you mean? Let him just fly away.
Yeah, and then Andara orders Soul to go stop him. Like they want the same damn thing. You having the blind leading the blind right now. Oh, you go stop him, even though you want to go gallivanting off and snatch the girls too. Uh, and
Because
Ocean
Soul's not
says,
a master yet, right? But he's more than a Padawan, but he's not a master yet, is
no,
he?
I don't think. I think so. But yeah, he's just a Jedi Knight at this point. He's not a master.
Okay, because he's making the dumbest like this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just shook my
Ocean
head.
says she wants to be a Jedi, but the Coven must discuss. Here's my notes too. Both sides have underlings going rogue because the Coven doesn't want to let Osha go, and then Mother Coral prepares to fight, despite Brother NSA saying we don't need to use violence. May tries to trap Osha. Sol and Torben go up to free the girls, and Kanaka is supposed to stop them from starting a conflict. My boy becomes said conflict he's supposed to stop.
That man could fight. He was wrecking. He did not deserve his death. After
Kanaka
seeing
did?
literally, yeah, after seeing he was literally just like taken control of,
Yeah.
he did not deserve his death. He didn't do anything. He was trying to stop the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a funny part though when Mother Crow was like, "You shouldn't have brought him back here," and Torben's like, "No, I'm still my mind." She's like, "Not you." Fool."
Say ain't
Yeah.
nobody checking for you. You
Nobody came here for you, Otis.
ain't got no hands.
Yeah. So
You'll knock it.
we live May starting the fire. She starts screaming. That was a kind of a dumb moment too. After she started, "Mama, Mama," after she's the one that started the fire and runs off, and then we have this standoff with
They deserve that.
Mother Anastasia and Soul. Soul asks where the twins come from, and I'm like, I was waiting on
None of
one of
your
the witches to be
business.
like, "None of your business."
None of
Right.
your business. Were
Why
you
would we
there in
tell
the
you?
room when they were created? No, then keep your mouth shut.
Why would we tell you also? Like you just rolled up on us and you expect us to give you answers? Like why?
Yeah, just
What are you
break it into people's places.
right?
And I'm
Have
wondering
shown
if
no
Mother
respect.
Anastasia is somehow clairvoyant. Would you say, Andrea?
They have shown zero. Soul has shown zero respect for them, their rules, their culture, anything. It's
No.
like you are an absolute colonizer, Soul, in this episode, and I strongly dislike you.
I'm wondering if Mother Anastasia is clairvoyant because he says we have noble intentions, and she's like, one of these days those noble intentions are going to get you and all the Jedi wiped out, which ends up coming true.
That line is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Soul kills Anastasia in front of May before she can complete whatever the action. When she was about to mist up with May together, I wanted to see what they was about to do, and my boy just kills her. And then she lets him know that she was going to let Osha go, so he just looks dumb as hell.
He does.
May runs at Coral's command, and they start fighting. And when Mother, I don't know if y'all I laughed when I heard the "fight man" from Mother Coral, but I was kind of rolling when he wasn't fighting back. I don't know if you laughed at that, but that mess made me chuckle. And we get explosions from up above. Coral then goes into the mist, and that's when they take over Telnaka. They possess him and fight, and then we see how Torben gets his scars. Not sure about what happened to
Every
my
single
boy's
one.
hairline, but we see at least how what have his scars hit his face.
Deserve everyone.
And then Master Indara breaks the connection, and the witches just fall dead. This was weird to me. Like, why did breaking the connection with Kelnaka make them all fall out and die? Like, there was nothing done directly to them. Saul goes to get the twins. Were y'all thinking the same thing as me? I'm like, why not just grab the girls? My boy is holding up two sides of the bridge with the force. Why not? They weigh less than the bridge, right? Just grab them.
I'm sure
Because Soul makes dumb decisions in this episode, as we can see.
he's
Yeah, so he lets May drop, and they go back to the ship. And Dara is the one who suggests the cover up and basically goads Soul into propagating the lie because when Osha wakes up and asks him what happened, he looks over at Indara and then she nods like, go on and tell her. And he's like, May started a fire. And then they cut to the credits. I'm like, bro. So she called the council. This is so weird to me. Like they would just let all this stuff ride. Like both times, both this time to Brendock and the trip that we see in the future, there should have been a full-on investigation. I'm thinking of my time in the military. And even when you just hear of accidents happening where, say, like a helicopter or something crashes and military personnel die, there's immediately somebody going to see what the heck happened. They just don't let that ride and nobody sees what, actually happened.
well, I feel like the council is incompetent at that point. But also, back to my earlier point, Indara deserved to die first because why are you covering for your like why are you covering for these people?
Okay, hold up. Jocelyn and I normally agree a lot, but what? She did not deserve to die first.
She was
I think she
willing.
deserved to be maimed, but I don't think she deserved to die. And
I,
Dara in this episode was the only one trying to leave those women alone.
yes, she was, but also, and I'm not even saying that like her deserving to die is like leagues and bounds beyond like Soul. What I'm saying is that like I'm yes, she is the one who was the voice of reason. Okay, she was trying to stop it from happening. Okay, but when it came down to like report on what was happening, she was willing to cover for everybody. And I was like, I don't know, in my brain, that was insane. I was like, these people are they're like deeply responsible for everything going wrong here, and you're covering for them. Like,
That
no.
is technically true. But it wasn't just like for them. I know she was also covering for herself because she was the one in charge, and both her Padawan and everyone except for one guy, except for the Wookiee, everyone who was in her charge disobeyed her openly over and over and over again. So I get that, yes, she should not have lied, but I don't think she deserved her death. I don't. I have to
I
disagree. I don't think she deserved her death. I think she was just trying to protect her crew who made the dumbest decisions.
I
And
hear you on that. I hear you on that. My only thing is like, and that's a very human thing to do. Like, I'm not discounting that. Um, my gripe is that like he didn't learn anything. Like, he's still continuing to make dumb decisions,
mhm,
like long after and up until this point.
he
So there was,
deserves the death.
well, yes, but I'm like, everyone is at fault. Like, everyone is at fault, and I just feel like, I don't know. I'm mad at everybody. Like, I'm just like, Indara, if you would have told the truth, like, and I know, like, as a human being, that is a very hard thing to do, to like turn yourself in. And they're bad Jedi. They're bad Jedi because they couldn't do that. They not the most goodest people. All right.
No, they,
Well,
they
and I will say, but if she turned them in, I don't think she or the Wookiee would have gotten in trouble. That's the thing. Like, she saved Soul and Torben from actually getting in trouble because she technically didn't do anything wrong. Until she lied. But like on the planet, she told them consistently, "Stop doing this. The council's not going to do this. We're not going to do this." So I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying I disagree.
I
I
hear you. I hear you.
I don't think she deserved her death. From May's point of view, maybe she did, but May's also like crazy and stupid, and I don't respect her anymore. But Indira, Indira, right? Because I'm really bad at
and
remembering
Dara.
names.
Dara.
Indara. No, I don't think her and the Wookiee deserve to die. I think they could have. I think their secret should have been outed, and then they would like disgraced or something, or like badly beaten by May. But I after seeing this episode, I'm like, they didn't deserve their death. The only two people who deserve to die is Torben and Soul.
Yeah, I
Like,
definitely don't think Kilnaka deserved to die.
yeah,
I definitely think, and Indara and Saul definitely need to die. Indara needed to die. Saul still needs to die, and Torben too.
Torben
Torben too. Yes.
and Dara just in a coma.
Yeah. I,
And Dara needed to just go ahead and let Saul fall on his sword because
She should have.
he was
yeah.
messing up.
Because my only thing is, I'm like, there's been no consequences, and it's not just about getting in trouble. I'm just like, so many more people have died on his watch because he didn't learn his lesson the first time. Like, that's my problem. I'm just like, there's damage done down the line here, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, I'd have let him fall on his sword. I'd have went to the council and been like, "Yo, Saul, I told you the council said no, and then what did you do?" And then I would just leave it at that.
But also, if Soul was a better man, he would have just still turned himself in. If Soul and Torben were better men and stronger men, and half the woman that she was, they would have turned themselves in. It's like, she was trying to protect us because we disobeyed her and all this stuff, whatever. But
they didn't deserve to be protected at all.
They did not. They did not, because they did colonizer activities from the moment they saw there was other life on that planet. Because of course, if someone else is on that planet, they have to follow your rules.
Funnily enough, Torben at first didn't care. He's like, "So what? They got plants here. We don't care about this. Let's roll back home." And then they find out there's people there. Now you want to be up in folks' business.
So crazy.
Because they're practicing the Force differently than you.
So crazy. I also like, pivoting just a little bit. Like, we didn't see anything about, and I hope we'll see this next episode, but we didn't see anything about what happened to your boy.
Come here.
Yeah. Because, and I know that's not necessarily what this episode was about, but I thought about it afterwards because I remember he was saying in the episode prior to this last one, he was like he went through so much, or he lost everything or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was wondering if like maybe not that event, but if we would see something about that here.
I think that's going to be teased next episode. Like I'm of the opinion that's also why I wanted to talk today, because I think it's going to be revealed that Vernestra is his master, his former master that discarded him and gave him the scars on his back. And I think that's probably what we're gonna see as a tease once the series ends for this next episode.
Who is that person?
The green skinned, bald headed Jedi master who's the go between them and the council. You got the green skin, the light whip.
Oh! I thought you meant on the Sith side. I was like,
No, remember, because he said he was a Jedi a long time ago.
Yes, I'm sorry. No, I thought you were talking about his master on the Sith side, like the person. Because last episode I was on, you were like, you don't think he's the master, you think he actually has like another master. So I
Yeah,
thought that's who.
yeah, no. I still think that's true. As far as
No, I was saying, I thought you said I thought you were saying that's that person, not his master on the Jedi side.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking the master on the Jedi side right now, because we still, it hasn't been revealed who the Sith master is, but I think
whip thingy, right? The saber that whips.
Yeah, his scars on his back, they're curly Q, they're not straight. So I think it was a light whip that did the damage to his back, and if so, then that's the master that cast him aside, and part of the reason why he's upset with the Jedi as well.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And because she's been kind of acting shady too when you see her come on screen.
Oh yeah, she is super shady. Like all last episode, that's all I could think about. I was like, there's something going on. You know more than you're saying.
They're all shady. I haven't seen one good Jedi yet.
I have. He died. She died.
Yeah. Yes, we did. And they died.
Jesse?
Yeah, she died.
And the other one, Yord.
He
was annoying. He was annoying, but he was so good.
Yes. You're right. He was a good Jedi. He wanted to tell the truth. He wanted to do the right thing. He was also yes, sir. Yes, I will throw my friends under the bus for you. He was annoying, yes, but
he'd have snitched. If that had been Yord
all day, every day.
Facts.
Yeah, if they'd have had Yord down there with them on Brendock, Yord would have snitched quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Council said no.
If Yord was on there instead of Soul, May and Ocean, this whole series wouldn't happen.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yord would have tackled Torben and dragged his butt back by his robes. It was like, she said, hold it, we're coming back.
He was like, he would go to the council with them in hand, talking, this what happened. It was this and this. They did it. They went there bothering folk. They was minding their business.
Acting like colonizers.
They told us we had to go, and I didn't like it. Okay, you need to know I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it, and they said we had to do it, and that's what happened. Everyone's dead. It was a fire. Okay.
And yes, one of the girls did set a fire, and we had nothing to do with the fire that she set because she was crazy. But all those witches. Well, okay, hold on. Let's go back real quick, because the witches dying.
I don't think they died. I know the mom did, but I don't think they all did. I think she, like, when they...
Well, then they did die by May's hand, by the fire.
No, they just passed out.
Yeah, they just dropped.
I think I'm also... After that, if the fire still raged on, they died by fire otherwise. So technically, did they lie to the council? Did May's fire not kill everyone?
We don't see the place burnt up, though.
We see that there was a fire, and also that she started it by accident. She lit the book, and then like
she spilled the lamp.
Yeah, she spilled it, but it wasn't like she intentionally set the place on fire. She lit the thing because she was
nothing to the fire.
We don't see charred bodies though either.
We don't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they died. The mom did. She did die, but everybody else
took a lightsaber to the middle.
Yeah.
I'm saying if they did die.
Yeah.
Then they probably did die from the fire.
Yeah.
I don't even know that everything there was flammable.
People are,
but I mean, rock, cement, and that stuff would just
smoke inhalation. Then I know that because common sense.
Okay.
I feel like if they really did that, I feel like movies and shows. I feel like good movies and shows, when something is really, somebody or something is really dead, They make a very strong, clear, like point to show that these people are dead. Like remember when the I forget which episode it was, but after the massacre with your client, all right, and then the next episode is they cut to showing them dead on the floor,
Yeah,
the lifeless. Like that's a very clear sign. Like no, these folk ain't coming back. All right, it's very clear.
they for real dead,
Yeah, they're dead. They are
staring into the abyss.
they are DED dead. Okay, so I'm just saying.
Um, and on the off chance, on the slim chance they did die, I'm blaming May because that girl is crazy. She needs therapy.
Need
Um,
something.
though I will say it's very interesting because I wasn't here last episode, so I do have to say something from last episode. I do apologize. Um, it's very interesting how long it took Soul to realize it wasn't Osha, but the stranger,
Come here.
Chimere, knew immediately who
I
he
mean,
was
that was
dealing
from the
with.
beginning. He shouts OSHA at May when she runs into the room. Before she, when she started the fire, he screams out OSHA to May right then as little
Yeah,
girl.
like he can't really tell them apart except for the the
The
brand
marking.
on her face, the marking
Yeah.
on her face, and then May had no idea how to act like OSHA.
He's so
May,
bad at
it was so
everything.
bad.
He's so bad at
May,
everything. Like I really hope in the next season, if the show gets another season, that in whatever happens to Saul, I hope he dies next episode. I hope that the next season makes a point of showing that Saul was a fool in his actions, like this whole time. Like,
because like you can have honorable intentions and still have horrible intentions.
yeah,
Like you could think you're doing the right thing by saving these girls, but obviously one is like, look, I don't want to go. And yes, a child may want to live out something differently than the way that she was raised, but that does not necessarily mean she needs to be saved.
yeah,
It's none of their business. They're
right.
not even in their jurisdiction. Even I think either Coral or Anastasia tried to say that in the beginning. Like basically, the Republic ain't got no jurisdiction here. We're not a part of the Republic.
That's
Yep.
like why they specifically live there.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is all kinds of wrong. We got the bad
I
news bears, Jedi, out here
this
just messing up and compounding it after the fact, and they continue to do so. Like we see now, years later, he's still messing up and compounding stuff.
so bad at everything. Getting his team killed
she
again.
was a child. You brought her here.
Getting his
Yeah.
whole team murked. All right, going on secret reconnaissance missions. Okay,
I want to see Andara's Force Ghost pop up when everybody died and look around and be like, "Sounds about right." He's still doing his thing. He ain't learned
I
nothing.
I'm still I wish now that I know what happened, I'm gonna have to like eat my words, pick up my face, take my foot out my mouth from like the previous episodes. I'm still mad she's dead. I'm mad she's dead now because I was like, yes, kill the colonizer. She was actively trying not to colonize. She was like, I'm here to do my job, clock in, clock out. That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm here with these people with egos and stupidity.
I really wish. I wish that like, and I can understand like two sides of this. Like I can understand the part of her that is like maybe trying to follow like maybe mission protocol or something like that. Like if your team is making moves and doing stuff, and so maybe stuff starts going left, you start to maybe follow a protocol that is like, okay, we have to protect our own at all costs or something like that. But I was really hoping that like if she saw the conversations that Saul was having with Indara and them going left, I wish he would have just like stopped it, like pulled him back, like really like, yo, stop talking. like really just put a pause and stuff, like really inserted herself and just been like, but then we wouldn't have the episode we had. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm like, we really could have done more to make this not
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, she seems to be like, "Oh, y'all messed up. We here now, so let's ride with it." And I'm like, "Wow, that was a quick turn from you telling them no. The council said no to, I don't think you should throw yourself away." Basically, like she was doing something to OSHA by letting him take responsibility for his mess up. Like, no, OSHA would have been all right.
Yeah.
she just wouldn't be, she wouldn't have had to come to be in the Jedi Temple because I don't know what they would have done with her, but
And it makes no sense to, if she's too old, she's too old. It does not matter. It does not matter that she's an orphan now.
yeah,
Too
no,
old is too old.
Yeah.
yeah,
And an entire village of innocent witches murdered because a man thought he knew better than a whole bunch of women.
It's also extra crazy because
Soul.
this works against their goal for why they were even out there in the first place, aside from just everything going left. Like you were saying that they were looking for what, a virgins, is that what you said?
Avergence.
Yeah. And then Torben said, "Oh, there's signs of that here." And like, yeah, his goal was like to use that to get off the planet, but also like what you would think that that would serve as like intent for you to be curious about these people, try to understand what these people do, like really just try to tread more carefully,
Yeah.
like actually, instead of coming in guns blazing. We got to say to babies, like, you know what I'm saying, like, chill out, dog. What do you mean? Like, no,
Yeah.
you don't got to say, just stop saving people. No one needs to be like, maybe just learn, figure out, hi, how are
Complete
you?
your mission.
Right. Exactly.
I still can't understand why the council didn't investigate after that. Like, wait a minute, we told y'all no, and then something happened, y'all went anyway, and everybody ended up dead. Because if that's,
I mean, with the story that they were lied to, it makes it seem like they saved May from a fire.
Yeah.
Not that they were anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even
while the
even
fire
with that
started.
explanation, I don't see that didn't raise the suspicions of the council. Somebody to come in and take a look, because we see Master Vernestra, when they go back to Brendock after Saul gets his team killed later on, she could kind of sense what happened just by being on the grounds, and she starts to ask Mo, "What do you feel happened here?" And he was like, "A battle, one against many, and then someone powerful enough to take out all these Jedi." So they can glean some information just by going down there, and it doesn't seem like, unless they show us something next episode, like nobody had any follow up with this. They just let it ride.
Right.
Like, you report, you report.
It could be because of their own bias towards the witches, quote unquote. It's like, oh yeah, those girls got what they deserved because they were messing with the Force in the way that they shouldn't have. So, oh, of course, a child killed her entire family because she was messing with something they didn't control. We believe you. You would never lie to us because we're the only ones who can use the Force correctly. Reminds me of Pocahontas. Them probably calling them savages. You're the savage.
Do
You
either
just
of you
think color
feel,
of the wind, people.
Mm-hmm.
do either of you feel the same way that this episode should have been earlier in the series?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because we have one. If we have one, I didn't know the next episode was the finale, and I feel like we still have like 3 episodes worth of information to get.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of worried about. That now we're gonna have this last episode, and it's gonna feel rushed because if you try and tie everything up, or it's gonna be unsatisfactory because you don't tie half the stuff up, and we just get teased for more.
To be fair, the only thing I'll say in regards to like a positive as to why this episode is later, I think overall it should have been earlier, but a positive as to why it's later. I feel like if it was earlier, we would hate Saul way more. Like,
That's true.
he would have been so deeply vilified, and I feel like fans in general would have been so much angrier as to why he's not gotten his comeuppance yet, any kind of retribution towards his actions. Is retribution the right word in this context? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Just, yeah. It would have pissed me off that he would have still been alive this late in the series.
To Jocelyn's point, see a moment we are sort of agreeing on. I do think it should have been earlier. I think if it was the episode right before this, and then so if they flipped, what is it, 7? If they flipped 6 and 7, because the way the last episode ended, besides Soul telling May that he's going to explain all of this, I think it would have been a better lead up to oh, I know you're May, not Osha, and then go into the final, because it just, with everything, to see Osha's ending being her put the helmet on, and then to see and then to go into like, oh, we're ignoring that entire ending for this episode. I think if they
Flashback. Yeah.
like flipped it,
Yeah.
um, or cut and paste to where we sort of got this over the course of 2 episodes. So we got like maybe Osha's story. We got maybe Osha's May and Soul on the ship, cutting into Osha and the stranger, because I keep forgetting how to pronounce my client's name. I apologize, honey. And then this episode cut into it as well. I think that could have worked,
Yeah.
but honestly, with it ending with Osha putting the helmet on, I think it definitely should have went into like action and not a history lesson.
Yeah. I just think we should have seen the totality of the inciting events prior, so that we can identify more with the other characters they were trying to have us roll with.
For sure.
And we could also continue tying up the mainline plot points that we've been wondering and questioning about, which now we have to try and squeeze into this last episode. And I'm not sure it's going to be like a longer episode than what we've got, maybe, so we can tie everything up, or whether it be unsatisfactory because not everything is resolved and we're just teased for the second season, and see how that goes, because we still got a lot of things to kind of wrap up with these characters. Yeah, Soul needs to get his. I'm not sure it's going to happen this time. And I would be fine with them vilifying him earlier, because this is supposed to be about the Sith side, and perhaps why there's opposition to them. This makes total sense, because y'all were not the knights in shining armor y'all purported yourselves to be. Sometimes you got the Keystone Cops out here just messing up stuff, and you're covering everything up. So now we might sympathize more with the Sith, just because like y'all ain't got your stuff together either.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
That's fair. That's real fair.
Yeah.
So you guys had any other predictions for the finale?
I hope we find out his story, Kamir's.
Yeah.
I hope we find out his story. That's what I would like.
Yeah, and I also feel like I want to understand how Chimera and Saul are connected, because when they had their battle and they were talking, it seemed like, they had encounters, or he knew of him. And I was like, how do you know? How? And also, like, how old are you? And I'm like, maybe that guy, I wonder, I don't know. This is a reach, this thought I'm about to say. I was like, maybe he has some virgin stuff of him, like maybe he is like Osha and May in that way. Like maybe there's another him or something, or just he was created of a virgins also.
Yeah, there is a reach. I'm thinking more. I think he was just talking about that one encounter at the shop.
Oh, okay.
Kind of toying with him, like, oh, you don't like my feelings are hurt. You don't remember me, but he was hidden by the helmet. Go ahead.
I think. Well, I think it'd be very interesting. So if his Jedi master was Venestra, the Green Lady, but like while he was like her Padawan or whatever, like Soul, because Soul looks older than him, that like Soul was maybe a knight, and so he was so young that like maybe he looked up to Soul or something, but Soul didn't really recognize him, and so when he left, like maybe he's like, oh, you really don't recognize me after like everything y'all put me through. So maybe he was
Kamir was a freshman when Soul was a senior, and he wasn't paying no attention.
Yeah, maybe that might be it. And he was with Venestra, and so like, so you don't pay attention to younger people sometimes when you're an upperclassman. Yeah. Maybe he was like the hair dude, and it was just like, oh, I am the ish, and I don't need to like listen to everyone because I think I'm a good guy, but you're not as straight laced as you think you are, like as hair dude.
No, he's just emotionally unbalanced, like he was calling Torben. Like, you fool, you're unbalanced, and you're leading them in the wrong direction. It's all going to come crashing down. I guess we'll get to see if Saul gets his comeuppance. I'm wondering if he's going to stand on business about, because he's mentioned a couple times now going to the council and letting them know what he did. Will he actually do that?
He should have did that years ago.
Yeah,
you should have been man enough to do that years ago. Maybe May wouldn't have gone crazy because they would have gone back to investigate.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have found her. I mean, she was still crazy, but maybe she wouldn't have gone super crazy where she's like, fight me at your greatest strength. Like, girl, what we doing? What was that? You lost so many cool points. Shout out to the actress though, because she is playing those two roles perfectly.
Absolutely. I saw a video where she was talking about, um, like she was asked about how are you approaching playing, these two characters, and she was saying that Osha is much more introverted kind of personality, where May is like not necessarily extroverted, but just more immediate and impulsive in her emotions,
Mm.
whereas Osha is more repressed, kind of.
Yeah, I
And you
still
know who can
believe
help her be
OSHA a little more
unrepressed?
than May.
My client can help her become unrepressed.
Oh boy. Here we go.
She put the helmet on, guys. She put the helmet on. And there are some fan fictions out there
Oh no.
that have come out with that helmet scene.
Oh my god.
I had to Google it. I was like, I wonder.
And
The fan fiction
too
writers are
much.
fast and they're good. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all
I'll
I'm gonna
take
say.
I'll take your word for it. We're not going down that rabbit hole. Too
It had
much.
to, one of us had to, and I took that for the team.
Okay.
I took that hit for the team.
We appreciate it. Well, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to chop these things up with me and talk about them. Any last predictions before I think tomorrow the premiere of the finale will come out tomorrow night at 9 Eastern time, and we'll see what
I
happens.
hope Saul dies, and I hope that Osha is the one to do it. Or, oh, what if it's a double kill? What if it's like May and Osha, both?
That would be hilarious.
Oh my god.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
I I want Soul to die, but I don't think he's going to. Um, I think because the Jedi is going to try and sweep this under the rug, and I don't think he's going to be killed. I think that May is going to die, because I don't think May's the Acolyte. I think Osha is.
Mm,
Um, I think that now I'm not saying these are things I sort of want to happen necessarily. They are, but that's all things I really do think these are things that are going to happen. I
Man,
think that Osha is going to come back to the Jedi, but still feel that pull. Um,
I feel
and that
like
connection to be the acolyte, and I think she's going to leave again. I don't think she's going to go back to Jedi training. I feel like she's going to try and go back to her life and stay in contact with the Jedi, but
yeah.
I think she's going to become the acolyte. And I think at the end of the season, we're going to see that she still has in the episode. We're going to see that she still has that pull, um, to because like she's going to find out that she was lied to.
Yeah.
And she's going to think she's going to be okay. She's going to think Soul was doing the best for her. She's going to think, oh, I think you were trying to look out for me. And so I forgive you because your intentions were not to harm people. It was to protect me. You thought you were protecting me. And then I
Yeah.
think she's going to realize that's all bull.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to unlock her force potential. I don't think
Mhm.
she's going back to the Jedi either, because number one, she washed out and failed the trial, so
Mm.
that's a kibosh on that. But I think when she finds out the truth, that's probably going to unlock her potential in the force, and as well as come here, we find out that Vanessa was his master, and then it would be cool if what Jocelyn said comes true, if they both become acolytes and double kill. So I don't know if we'll get that though. But that
I
would be
think May's going to die.
yeah.
I
You think
really
May's
do.
gonna die?
That May, based off of even Jocelyn, what you said about how the actress is playing them in different ways, and how May is more like impulsive. I
Mhm.
think I think if anyone does kill Soul, it'll be May who will try, but like it'll be I think the double kill will be they'll kill each other, and
Mm.
Osha's going to be there. If Soul dies, I
Mm.
don't think Osha would be the one to kill him.
Hmm.
I'm I feel like I want, or I'm even hoping. I'm hoping for like a really excellent, like Deus Ex Machina to happen, where either we find out like that the witches are alive, or
Mm.
something. That they come and tell somebody to tell the full truth of what happened that night.
There's always three sides: your side, my side, and the truth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just feel like I want somebody to blow the door wide open on like what happened there for
Yeah.
everybody to know, and so that can truly inform everybody for real, and everybody can get going on whatever they're finna get going on. Whether May's gonna, she's gonna fully turn to the dark side, or what, or not May, Osha is gonna turn and be the acolyte or whatever. Everybody gonna do whatever they got to do, but fully informed.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, we'll see tomorrow. I appreciate a couple of y'all that got on the live and saw us chopping it up. Like I said, the audio will be uploaded to Spotify and released on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the following Monday, we'll be back here to discuss the finale. Talk to you next week.